Look, what? Look.
Listen.
That's from something, right? Coffee Talk with the Girls?
Coffee Talk with the Girls?
Yeah,
there was that one
Somebody
one dating app, Coffee Meets Bagel. That's all I
yeah.
think of when you say that. That was apparently a Shark Tank thing.
I like bagels. Hey, welcome. It's to Look Listen with Geese and Guyera. Geese isn't here. That's fine. She did more episodes this month than I thought she would, that's for sure, because she got sick and couldn't go to all her destinations.
Oh,
I'm
no.
Guyera. That's Taylor. He likes to fill in and join as well.
It's true.
Today is... we're running out of holidays, Clambos, but hey, the Scarlet Violet anime is coming very soon, so get excited. But this week is, of course, Groundhog Day episode.
What? I don't even know when Groundhog Day is.
Oh, no. The episodes haven't... Since Halloween, the episodes haven't been anywhere near the actual holiday. We did Halloween episode in October, and then the next week, Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then 4th of July and Valentine's Day. And last week was Arbor Day. This week is Groundhog Day.
I love Groundhog Day.
What? Perfect episode to be on.
You know, I'm trying to think of holidays that I have more indifference towards.
I'm indifferent to all holidays, other than Christmas with my family.
You love Christmas, yeah. Christmas is
I just
great.
said that. Why you...
Yeah. I was agreeing with you. Because Christmas is, I think, the best holiday.
But I haven't done anything for any holiday ever. Since being a child, I think.
Never had like a 4th of July cookout?
No.
Throw a couple brats on the grill.
On the what? On the what, girls?
Go to the roof.
The back of the toilet.
Use your solar-powered grill to get some brats. I don't like brat words.
Saying brats. God.
It's very fun to say. Try it. It's very fun to say. Throw some brats.
I'm not saying
on the
throwing
grill.
brats. Okay. Look.
Listen.
All right. First, hey, big shouts out. Last night we having burger. Hold on. There was not enough rubber baby buggy bumpers. Okay. Last night, people in the Reichert's community got together and we hosted our own Game of the Year extravaganza where we hashed it out and figured out the best games of the year and did some other categories too. This one was pretty short. It only took us 4 hours to do. Very, very fun. I'm pleased with the results. I somehow managed to get both Pokemon games on the list, Arceus and Scarlet and Violet, for the top 20, which is sick. So, Clambos, make sure to go out there and vote, because the way it works, of course, is you get the deliberators who choose 20 games and kind of put them in different tier lists. And then for the actual ranking of 1 through 20, that comes from the votes from the community. So make sure to get your vote out there. It's already in the Discord. Let's see. Who won? What else did I write? Well, we don't know yet. Actually, we do know it's going to be Elden Ring because there's no way it's not going to be Elden Ring. But,
yeah, that's true.
But we know the top tier is, I think it's Elden Ring, Vampire Survivors, God of War Ragnarok, and the other two. Did Sifu make it to S tier?
There's no way.
Sifu had Passionate Defenders. That's a possibility.
Yeah, but
I'd have to open the doc, but you check for yourself. Don't let me spoil it. Shouts out Geese. Aurora Beam was able to get Cats and Soup, not on the top 20 of the list, but it did end up on Best Skill Tree, Perk, or Progression System, which, of course, the lock-in for that category is Nobody Saves the World.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got Nobody Saves the World in A+ tier, so I'm excited about that.
That's good. That's definitely worth it. That's a lot of fun. You said there's
DLC coming,
right?
We still haven't played the DLC.
Yeah.
Coming. It's been out for months.
Oh my.
We could play it anytime.
Yeah.
What was
Nah, it's a good game. I like it. Great music.
I'm aware.
Is a little, I felt, who was that character I kept feeling bad for when we were playing it? The assistant. I always felt bad for the assistant. Nostramagus' assistant.
I'm going to say the horse.
No. Horse was a champ.
Yeah, the assistant, he was always trying to just do his job, I think, and we were the troublemakers.
He was like a little rude when he was ordering his coffee, but, I mean, that's not a unique fault. Actually, now that I think about it, we didn't talk about Elden Ring, right? Because I was thinking about this. I didn't watch the Game Awards, but I was
at the Game Awards.
Oh, how was it this year?
It was incredible. Wait, you didn't even watch it? Watch it?
No, I didn't.
I was there live in person because I knew this year was going to be good. I've
Mhm.
skipped some Game Awards. Taylor's been to some Game Awards,
Yeah.
but this one could feel the vibe going in that it was going to be absolutely massive by the number of people talking about it.
Mhm.
Every single one of those seats was filled. I couldn't believe it.
Oh my god,
Ta-
that's amazing.
Taylor knows normally they got like so many sections empty that they're trying to hide on the cameras, but not this year. I was in the area with some employees from Sony.
Mhm.
I already told this in the last podcast, so I'm not going to go over it. But Game
No.
Awards was very good, very exciting. There's lots of big announcements, and God, since Taylor doesn't follow the new stuff, he doesn't even know about the kid at the end.
I saw
And
some short about that, I think.
oh, okay,
That's
but
kinda
yeah, I
weird.
was
It's so sick that he did it.
no, it's not sick that he
I'm not
did
a
it.
fan of, like, breaking rules, but, like, if you look at it as far as just, like, a bit of content or something, it was looking at him there when he's not supposed to be there, I thought he was just gonna stand there and walk off, which I would've been like, "Oh, man, what a jokester." And then he said I can't remember what he said, but it's such a waste, so stupid.
Yeah, he wanted to nominate this award. It wasn't even good English.
Mhm.
Oh, pardon me. It wasn't even well English. He wanted to nominate this award, which doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
to his Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. But
He
the thing
probably just
is,
got nervous or something.
he ruined everything for everyone because now there's going to be so many. There's a possibility somebody's fired. Now it's got to change so much how people are going to go to the Game Awards. They're probably going to restrict it way more. It's
Yeah.
I don't even want to go. We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
Poor behind the times Taylor.
Well, so when
Well,
something like
weather.
that happens, I just wish it was, at least amusing.
Well, I mean, thank goodness he didn't do anything to poor Miyazaki-san. Jesus
Mhm.
Christ. He could
Yeah.
have, right after Miyazaki says, and I intend to make way better and more interesting games than Elden Ring. He could have ruined a lot. But
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
thank goodness that's all he did.
I can't remember. I was so glad to hear that won. I actually don't yeah, I really don't know what's going on. Last week's been kind of a haze.
Nah,
So
I wouldn't worry about
I'm not.
it. No.
I haven't had a feeling like playing Elden Ring since I was a kid playing games.
Yes. I had
That
a wonderful time with Elden Ring.
that first
But,
hmm.
hmm? You could argue this with Pokemon too, but I was gonna
Mhm.
say there is a difference between me playing Elden Ring and me playing, let's say, Ragnarok. I think Elden Ring is better than Ragnarok. That being
Mhm.
said, God of War Ragnarok, I can turn on my PlayStation 5, sit there, hold my DualSense, look at the television, and complete the game.
Uh-huh.
Elden Ring is looking so much stuff up that does that make it does that knock off a point? I don't know because
Uh
it's a but same with Pokemon. That's what I'm saying. These things I love so much, they are companion pieces to external information. I can't just sit there with no outside information and enjoy myself as much as if I look up where to get this and how to do that and where to do this and
exactly. Well, I
where's the
mean, they're
best
different.
cheese strategy.
They have different designs, and I would say they have different roles in gaming. So the way that you kind of approach games like that is different from how I approach games like that.
Yeah,
Where,
Ragnarok's a movie
yeah,
and
exactly.
Elden Ring's
And I'm halfway through
something
Ragnarok,
else.
which is it's great. It's really great. Not as good as the first one for me, but it's more fun to play. I think. But what I was saying about Elden Ring is you start it, and right at the get go, I was the same way I approach Demon Souls or Sekiro. I'm actually very surprised I ended up getting platinum in Sekiro, like that. I'd have to finish it 4 times. Playing Elden Ring, I was just very free of the shackles of completionism because I knew there was no way I was going to get it. And it was almost really fortunate for me that I missed out on a very, very good item really early.
You are aware that it's a very easy platinum, right? In Elden Ring?
Yeah, but I didn't approach it with the intent of platinum. I did get the platinum, but
So did
when
yeah.
I was going through the initial areas, I was like, there's no way I'm going to get the platinum. There's just no way.
Okay.
I'm going to need at least 2 playthroughs or something.
Right.
So,
Let me before
mhm,
you continue, because I just
yeah.
have one sentence to say. I don't know how long you're gonna go.
Oh, it's
What
hours.
yeah, well, we don't have hours. But here's the thing about Elden Ring. That game was announced. I felt nothing. I've
Same.
never had interest in any Souls games. The week or so before the game comes out, maybe a few days before, in that very short window before the game comes out, the embargo lifts.
Uh-huh.
And I see the review scores. And I'm
Uh-huh.
getting goosebumps just thinking about it. This is a game I had zero interest in. I know so many people are foaming at the mouth for this game. I see 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and I go, okay, I'll pre-order it. Because I don't care. Obviously, there's something I don't know.
Yeah.
Clearly, what's the phrase, girls? It means there's something that you don't know. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
No, there's
yeah,
a
yeah.
phrase, a real
Something
phrase.
you don't know. Something you don't know.
No, there's a anyway. If you had told me 2 weeks before Elden Ring came out that I would have a platinum for that game, I would have never believed you.
Same.
But no, it was incredible, and luckily you can do the little save swap at the end, so you don't have to play it
Yeah.
60. Pop the ending.
I did do that. I felt kind of about
No,
it, but
don't.
I did end up doing that. I felt the exact same way. I'm surprised we had similar experiences with Elden Ring because I do love Souls games, even though I've never played a Souls game. I only played, well, I guess Demon Souls, Sekiro, and Bloodborne.
Just list every From Software
No, I
game.
haven't played one of the Dark Souls games.
You own them, I'm
Yep.
almost certain.
Definitely do. It's another one of those things where I have Uber Collector's Edition of the game and the strategy guide, and I've just never opened it. But Bloodborne and Sekiro are two of my favorite games, so I really, really am surprised that I wasn't more excited. Maybe 2-3 hours before the game is available to play on consoles, I get a text from Eric that said, "Hey, are you going to play Elden Ring?" And I said, I'm going to wait. And he said, "You should pre-order it." So I said, okay. And just, the vibe of that game and the sense of adventure, and it was just the right amount of telling you where to go, just the right amount of freedom. It wasn't like a Skyrim where you just truly pick a direction and go. So I didn't get bogged down with doing like giant quest lines before I had established any momentum in the main quest. It was very much in my opinion, almost as close to perfect as you can get for a game, like 9.5 out of 10 kind of thing.
I had an interesting experience with it because I went in looking up a lot of stuff because I knew I was not prepared for a Souls
the
game.
difficulty, right?
So I looked up early farming things, a way to boost your levels real quick. So I did the thing where you go down on your horse, Torrent, which is a brilliant name to name a horse to try to get people not to steal your game. And you go down at the very beginning of the section, there's like a tall troll looking guy and you can run around him and get a bunch of experience. Then of course you upgrade from that to the rock that chases you later on, and you can move out of the way at the last second. That gives you a bunch of experience. Working your way, of course, up to the farm of all farm, the bird farm in the underground, where you are
the bird farm.
You're getting every single time I would see somebody talk about Elden Ring and they'd go, "Oh no, I died. Oh God, and I had so many runes." And they say how many runes they had, and I just tell them, go to the bird farm and you'll have triple that in 5 minutes. You really do not need to be fretting at all.
Yeah.
But so that was how I played, and I still had a wonderful time. And I would see people talk about certain weapons they liked. So Rivers of Blood, let's take that for instance. So I see that and I make it my goal. I need that now. What is the minimum amount of things I need to do to get that weapon? And that's how I played it. And then, of course, then cleaning up everything after that.
See, this is such a rare blind playthrough for me. And I made it extra difficult because I went into sorcery, but I wasn't having as much fun. So I just did a melee sorcery build. And that was, it was I'd love to say glass cannon, but it was basically just a glass of water. I wasn't doing anything. Oh, I was so fragile, but real fun.
All right, welcome to the Elden Ring podcast, everyone. This week we are going
Rings
to
and
watch
things with the girls.
A Generation 5 episode, because of course we watched a Generation 4 and a Generation 3, plenty of Generation 1, the entire first season of Generation 7. So now we just need a Generation 2, and I think we're good because we've already watched a Kalos. Yes. Okay.
Just in time for
Flambeau's
Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, I'm going to warn you before we get into talking to the episode. We haven't even got to watch him play and goofing, but it's not a good episode. It's the fewest notes I think I've ever written because I guess
Oh,
not a
thank
lot
God you
happened.
said that. I have a
E-
page and a
Everybody
half.
just yeah, I don't even have a page and a half. Normally I get at least a page and the back of the page, so 2 pages. But this one's interesting. It's called, I have it
When was
written
it
down
made?
here.
What year? Was it?
This would have been like 2012ish.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say it's basically an episode of My Hero Academia.
The episode is Groundhog Day, no, it's called The Pokemon Harbor Patrol.
I
Okay.
read that. I read it as Pearl Harbor Patrol every single time I looked at it, and I just kept thinking, "Wait, they did the dubbing on a banned episode?"
No. You a banned Pearl Harbor episode? That's not. Stop it. Okay. All right. Time to move on to watching, playing, goofing. Taylor pulled a Geese this week and just wrote nothing for watching. So
I haven't watched anything.
It's fine.
I didn't even watch the Game Awards.
Tomorrow, I'm going to see Avatar, and I'm very excited. And Clambos, I want you to soak in my excitement because I know how the internet is. I know that it's just, you have to be embarrassed to admit you like Avatar, or if you're excited to see it, you have to make up an excuse to justify it. Well, I really just want to see the visuals. I'm just a fan of 3D. No, I'm excited about the movie. The first one's good. I enjoyed it. I had fun, and tomorrow's going to be a great time, and you can deal with it. First of all,
you remember how hype watching?
We watched it so many times.
Oh, so sick! I think 3 or something. It was beautiful.
More than
the
that.
action was so sick. It wasn't. I mean, in retrospect, I don't think it was a great movie, but I have so much fun watching it. I'm very excited for this one.
This is probably going to upset people, but I'm going to say Avatar is the opposite of Everything Everywhere All at Once, where it's the exact opposite.
It's the foil.
You have to be embarrassed to like Avatar, but if you don't like Everything All at Once, you have to be embarrassed.
Interesting.
Here's my biggest pet peeve.
Okay.
I see it on the internet so often. It's
no apples before podcasts.
No. Well, that's a big one. You need apples. Here's one of my biggest pet peeves I see on the internet. It's people preparing you to say, "Oh, get ready for this hot take I have," and then they proceed to say the most commonly accepted thing that is the only opinion you see. I can't take it. I'm being real brave with this stance, but I think anywho. I also watched a YouTube video. What?
When we first moved to Los Angeles, I was going out on a bunch of dates, and in Houston too.
Somewhere to sleep.
Hey, that worked fine.
It's a way better plan than my plan. Sleep in the closet of.
I had to deal with so many people who would be saying, "Well, I'm not like other," which is basically the hot take when you're in, out dating a lot. It's, "I'm not like other people because I'm deep," stuff like that. And it was just so grating after a while. And I just started saying, "No, everybody's like that. No, most people think it's fine.
You're good."
Yeah.
All right. And then I watched a YouTube video where somebody opened some Magic the Gathering cards from the year 2000, which is the set that I first played. And it made me really excited. And I want those cards now.
Which ones were they? I had a dragon deck when I was in intermediate school.
It was just called Magic, I think, Starter Set 2000. And it's got this green rhino man on the cover named Rocks.
His name was Rocks.
RHOX, not ROCKS. That's like Claude. Why don't you tell the Claude story?
It's fine.
All right, here's the Claude story, Clambos. Back when I was in college, I was at this one apartment where I was supposed to get a roommate that never happened. And I told Taylor the name of the roommate. And of course, the name of this human being was the French name Claude, like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Claude. It's a name. It's known. Taylor goes, "Claude? Like a caveman?" Like KLOD, I guess, or
Yeah,
CLOD,
CLOD, like just
like caveman.
I just imagine this
Joe and Mac.
like this 19-year-old having to crouch under the door.
Flintstone
Yes,
barges in.
fully shaved head with like a ripped t-shirt.
Claude. That's pretty good. Apologies if your name is Claude. Hey, girl, why don't you talk about your playing? What you played this week?
So watching was I didn't watch anything productive, which is, a shame.
I
I've
wrote one
noticed
YouTube video and what I'm gonna watch tomorrow. So you're good.
That's fair. That's fair. I get into YouTube shorts so quickly and they do it so effortlessly that I'll be watching, something about like a Destiny 2 item or something. Just something I like having mindless stuff on in the background. And it'll just transition into YouTube shorts and that little dopamine trickle
Gets you so good.
tricks me.
Oh.
And it makes me fall for their little scheme where I just watch short after short after short. And I look at my phone after an hour and I say, wow, that hour went fast. Open up YouTube again and I say, I'm going to watch something about cooking. And then it's just back to YouTube shorts for another hour. And before I know it, it's 3 a.m. and I'm not sleeping that night because of YouTube shorts that I can't remember. So,
every app does the exact same thing now. So that happens on YouTube. It happens on Instagram. Even Twitter, it can happen. And of course, obviously, TikTok is where they all got it from.
right. It's just such a whew. So I wish there was a setting. I mean, they would never do it because it makes no sense for them. But I wish there was a setting to turn off YouTube Shorts because that would save me hours every day.
A lot of people put on timers for their phone. That's an easy
That's actually
setting.
a really good idea.
So your phone just says, "Hey, you've had this open for a long time." The best one I've heard is that it'll warn you, and then when you pick up your phone, it'll give you a message or like a screen that says, "Okay, hey, you're over your limit. So if you really want to look at your phone, you've got to sit here and wait 5 seconds. Do you really, really want to look at your phone, or are you just doing this out of habit?"
Oh,
And then
that's a good
people go,
idea.
"Oh, I'm just doing it out of habit," and they put the phone down.
Phone time. Okay. I'm going to download that because that's been really annoying for me lately. Playing Just God of War. Destiny. Oh, super funny thing about Destiny. So
I hear it's a good expansion. Lightfall, Bringers,
uh
something.
so I get back into Destiny. You know how much I played the first Destiny non-stop. Our famous how many hours have you played? 12 hours and it was like 600.
I don't.
Uh,
Yeah, that I know exactly how many hours you played Destiny.
oh
Girls,
god.
if somebody needs to know how many hours Destiny Taylor played, I'm the guy to ask, not him.
Oh god, that just cracks me up how far off I was cuz it wasn't off by like 10 hours, which is a significant amount of time. It was off by hundreds
Hundreds of
of
hours.
hours,
Hundreds of hours.
days of my life that I couldn't account.
Taylor was so upset at
I
me.
was because, well, I mean, I was upset at myself, and then you were just the person pointing at the thing I had done. Um,
You're probably upset that I think I laughed at your face when you told me what you thought was the number of
oh
hours.
yeah, probably. That
Because
sounds like
it was
me.
very, you can't argue. That's hysterical. When I know
Very
the
much
girls
so.
played for 600 hours and he says,
Oh my
I don't know,
god.
35 maybe.
Oh god, so many hours.
Good stuff.
So I got into Destiny 2. Started playing it with my friend Flevens, and he loves Destiny because I got him into Destiny, and he loves Destiny. Destiny 2 went free to play, so it got rid of every bit of content that was interesting. They did something called sunset all the content. So I'm getting into it, I'm playing it, and I notice, oh, you have to buy this expansion and this expansion and this expansion. And I wound up buying one of the expansions for like $10 or $5 or something. Played a
I was
little
about to say,
bit
there
of it.
must be a deal.
Yeah. They're always going on sale. So I played a little bit of that, and I was like, this isn't really doing it for me. Then months later, I get into playing the PvP, which is what I was really big into in Destiny 1. So I started playing PvP, and I was like, okay, this feels good to play. It's fun. It's mildly competitive. I gotcha. So I start playing it a whole lot. And then I realized there are content barriers on everything. which is why I don't like the free to play model. Like, just take my money at the beginning and then we're done.
Take my winnings and leave.
Yeah. So I wind up saying, okay, well, I guess I'm just not playing this content or whatever. And I find out that somehow I have pre-order bonuses for an expansion. And I say,
Nice.
they gave me a free expansion. So Lightfall's coming out. Big event. And I'm looking up a lot of YouTube videos of, oh, this is the new class. This is the new whatever. And it said, look at this auto rifle. That's a classification of weapon. You have to pay $100 to get this auto rifle. And I thought to myself, well, good thing I don't like auto rifles. And then I look at my inventory and it says, hey, here's the Quicksilver Storm, which is the auto rifle. And I say, why do I have that? Turns out something is wrong with my account, and they just gave me the $100 edition of the game, so I'm covered in content for the next year. Didn't spend $1.
So you've got the Starbucks app of Destiny game files.
Exactly.
Have you ever talked about your Starbucks app on here?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. So Starbucks app just kept goofing for some reason. Like, I was on a weird patch or something. So I had a balance in my Starbucks app and I kept trying to use it to pay. But because there was something that was out of sync by a little bit, it would scan it, acknowledge that I had the Starbucks thing, and it would refuse to take money out of it. And it would just say, hey, you can't pay. This isn't okay. And I would sit there staring at the balance, and I really milked that later. Like at Universal, I'm sitting there saying, I want to pay. Please take my money, knowing that I couldn't pay. And I just got so many free drinks because they would always just say, the app doesn't work sometimes. Don't worry about it. We see that you have a balance, so you're not trying to like scam us or anything. And eventually I would say, I don't have my wallet. This is the only way I'm paying, and all of that. I got hundreds of dollars of free Starbucks.
That's so sick. Oh, God, I hope I don't have to go to the bathroom. All right, let's keep moving. Oh, no. Wait, right this second?
Nah, we can get through eating.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, here's my video games for the week.
Yes.
I just beat Scarlet. Obviously, I've beaten Violet already, but I've beaten Scarlet and Violet now, so I can have my living dex. I'm about to start my third playthrough on my secondary Switch with the second copy of Violet I bought physically in Japanese. So that's about to start. Luckily, since I've played it so much, I'm going to easily be able to get through it, even if I can't read it. And I've also, last week I told you I started up Crisis. Last week you're listening, I recorded it a couple days ago. Doesn't matter. Started up Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. Last night, I, of course, started up The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt for PS5, which just went live.
That surprises me that you're playing that.
Well, I sure hope you took advantage of the deal, everybody, where that game was on sale for $10 on PSN for PS4. And now if you own it on PS4, it's free for PS5. And yes.
How is it?
It is
Do you like
surprising,
it?
but people... I don't know if I'm going to beat it, but it's pretty. I can see there's a lot of mechanics going on. I can tell already. The combat wasn't great, but I think I've heard that from other people before. If I remember correctly, I think people said before, just turn the combat difficulty down to easy and just have fun with the game because the combat's not great. But apparently they've made a lot of improvements with this version, so I'll try it.
I never been interested in that. Never liked it. I think part of it was because of the main character. He's supposed to be really compelling or something, but every time I've seen cuts of him or whatever, it's just a very big power fantasy, and that's not really my thing. So he's just perfect as a person. Even the flaws within his judgment are rooted in something that is good. It's like he is the humble bragging of fantasy characters. So I'm not...
All I know, because I've never had interest in it before, but I'm a sucker for PS5
Visuals.
Versions of new games, and it's getting great reviews. So for $10, I thought, all right.
How are you liking
Same thing with
Crisis
Cyberpunk.
Core?
I've played through the intro of Crisis Core a few times, and it's the visuals look great during gameplay, but those cutscene visuals.
Oh, is it like what game did that?
Was it the PSP?
Was it one of the Kingdom Hearts games that did it, where they would have beautiful HD graphics and gameplay, and then it would just be like a tiny little box for the cutscenes.
That's basically any port. But I talked about that last week. How about Taylor? You talk about your eating this week.
Eating was pretty dull, except I watched a YouTube short.
Oh my god!
Darn it! And then 5 hours later, when I was done watching YouTube, I got a giant Jersey Mike's classic Italian.
How
It
can you
was
afford Jersey Mike's? It's like $100 a sub.
I know now. I just couldn't fight the craving. I've been on such a crazy diet lately because I really wanted to get down to a certain weight.
Weight bracket for your
Yeah.
boxing match?
Exactly. You're looking to the new bantamweight up and comer here with my joints and poor
I don't know what
reaction time.
bantamweight means.
I don't either, but I've heard
All
the
right.
term. Ate that whole thing and that was terrific. But you're gonna find this interesting. I made macaroni and cheese. Totally. I've never made it before. I only know the basics of what a roux is. So I made a roux, guessing how much flour to put in the butter and how much butter to put.
You've
And
made mac and cheese before?
I've made boxed macaroni and cheese. I've made
Yeah.
Velveeta, and I doctor those up all the time. Like I add other cheeses, I add different things. I understand, more or less how things interact with one another flavor wise. But I've never made macaroni and cheese, and I didn't look up a recipe. I was just like, I guess I'll make a roux and add milk. So I just added milk and sour cream, and I was really excited about it. First time I've ever done that, where I just kind of remembered the basics of something and then just made it.
Very sick.
Yeah.
I had something that was pretty tasty, and my diet's been so atrocious for the past couple months.
It's the holidays. Groundhog Day.
From August to February, it's the holidays. It's so bad because I used to eat my healthy Chipotle once a week at least, but last time I tried to eat it, I just got so grossed out by it and just got
Really?
so bored with it, I had to throw it away. That
Was
may
it
be because it was in
sudden?
the fridge. It may have been in the fridge for too long. I don't know.
But
But so now I've just been nothing but hamburgers and pizzas and whatnot. But luckily, I just ate a curry cauliflower salad. It was very delicious. But of course, immediately before that, I had Shake Shack. But here's the best way to eat your Shake Shack burger. You dip it in a half and half blend of their barbecue sauce and their hot one sauce, and it's very tasty.
Oh, they have a hot one
And
sauce?
yeah, it's very good. And then last night, I of course had my famous pizza burgers, which is the Tombo's burgers, where you
I'm
put the
gonna
slice
pee
of
myself.
pizza. We put the slice of pizza in the burger, and then pour your cascabella peppers all over the chili and dip it into the chili, and it's very delicious.
I always want to call those peppers pepperoncinis or banana peppers.
No, they're cascabellas.
Every single time.
Everybody just calls them.
Do you like
What?
shishito peppers?
What's Shishitos peppers?
They look similar. They're a little greener than those, but normally people grill them or fry them. And I've been seeing it a lot in menus and stuff, and I just don't like them. I don't like the flavor of them.
That's sick. Okay, let me go through Poke News of the week real quick because I think Taylor has to use the facilities.
Can you tell?
Well, you did say you were about to pee yourself.
Yeah.
Not too much this week because it's been only a couple days. The December Community Day is coming up in Pokemon Go, so you can catch all the shinies you missed out on the previous Community Days this year. And I mentioned this earlier. Pokemon did very well in the Reichert's Community Game of the Year. Arceus is in the A tier. Scarlet and Violet is in B tier, although Rock Party fought very valiantly to get it into the A tier, but boy, did he not have the support from everybody else.
Aw.
Also, there's a new mystery gift in Scarlet and Violet as of right now. You can get a bunch of LP, which works the same as Poké Dollars. So get that along with the millions of free sandwich ingredients. All right, girls, please tell them, please enjoy this ad break, and then you can mute and use the restroom.
Please enjoy this ad break.
I should not have drank the coffee. I got real excited when you weren't there because I thought, I can go back for round two. But
you can if you need to. I just spent 30 seconds pooing and the rest of the time wiping.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Yay. Welcome back to Look, Listen, Geese, Guyera. Okay.
I hope you enjoyed that ad break.
Perfect. Okay. We actually have yet to go over the Can I speak slower is the challenge of the day. We have not gone over the weather this week, so girls, if you would like to click the link in the doc for Thin Switzerland.
Oh gosh, I have to open
and
the doc. Right.
you don't have the doc open.
I never have the doc open.
How do you know what to say?
I just remember.
No.
Okay, here's the doc.
Or you could just Google weather Thun, Switzerland on your phone or something. All right. We're sending our reporter. What's another character you do?
Oh boy, do I have
classic? Do an impression.
I'm bad at impressions.
Yes. Of your boy. Okay. I've got it. One of your silliest water polo pals. Just how they, or do a Chuck Prosh, maybe. Chuck Prosh weather report.
It's the most neutral. But that would be kind of silly because it would be like, yeah, weather's kind of chilly. Okay.
Chuck Prosh.
Yeah, probably be fine. Where's the love of my life? Water polo pals are goofy. When I think water polo pals, I don't even think the ones that I played the most with in Los Angeles. I think of the ones in Houston during those just the bros.
All right. You know? Okay. I'm sorry. I do have to use the restroom again.
But
you can give the weather report.
Okay. All right. Oh, guess I'm actually doing the weather. Listen, we're in Switzerland, someplace. A lot of snow bunnies, they call them. Come up here to ski, stuff like that. You know, holidays, Groundhog Day. Everybody loves it. Gonna be in the 30s. It's perfect. Get some nice fresh powder. Ski on in there. And yeah. Just enjoy the skiing. Enjoy living life, you know. We're gonna have to look forward to the rest of the week. It's gonna get a little bit colder. It's pretty cool. Pretty cold. Pretty chilly. Precipitation 98%. It's a wet day. Humidity 100%. I don't even know what that means, to be honest with you. Can't go surfing. Gotta go skiing. Gotta get yourself on a board. That's what I always say. Enjoy life. Be intense. Go off a mountain.
Why would my brain tell myself last night, knowing full well the consequences of eating a bunch of cascabella peppers the next day, why would I go, oh no, I'm fine, easy? Well, come on. I need to be smarter than that.
Happens to me all the time. It's always with ghost pepper salsa.
I think what it is, it's that the craving for the spicier, tastier food is stronger than the reasoning. It's a calculated risk, but a very poor risk, I would say.
Is there ever a time where you have it and then the next day you're just good?
No.
So I was with Janisa in college, and that was when we were going to like 59 Diner and stuff, and she was lactose intolerant. And I just remember one day she ordered a giant milkshake.
Nice.
Said, aren't you lactose intolerant? And she said, you know, sometimes it's just worth it. And just
you say, aren't you lack? And she the whole thing.
I mean, she drank the whole thing. Props to her. Very sickly.
Here's the thing about Janisa. Now that Fry's Electronics has closed down, it's
a victimless crime.
Sort of. Okay, let's jump into the episode because we've been girls, why don't you tell us the name of this episode in English?
In English, the episode is, I wrote it down in my 1 and change page of notes. Pearl Harbor. What I wrote down. I can't see it. Look at it and tell me it doesn't say Pearl Harbor.
It's a family of podcast.
Yeah,
for the children. They don't need to know about those things.
As a result of that,
what are you clanking around?
Nothing. Let's see. It's a Poka.
Why are you whispering?
Poka. I'm not going to say what my brain is compelling.
Just say the name of the episode.
Poka Harbor Patrol. Right? I don't have the notes open.
Or the translated Japanese, hurry up, the Pokemon Coastal Rescue Team. Or in Japanese, Isoge, Pokémon Wangan.
When you said
Kyūjotai.
When you said hurry up, I heard the and I thought you were going to say Pearl Harbor.
thought you were going to say, huh? All right. Okay.
Cascabella.
Okay. You had your, I don't throw up. You had your warning, Clambos. I'm sorry. This episode is not good. It's
It's fine.
boring. And well, it's the same length as any other episode, but unlike some episodes of Pokemon where every second the plot is advancing, this has a lot of people standing and looking at each other. And Taylor you watched it in English, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Taylor can tell us what happens in English, but in Japanese, it's a lot of, I am going to say a sentence and I intend on doing a good job. Yes, that's right. Efficiency. And yes. And how do you feel about that? Oh, you think that it is good that I am going to be efficient. That is good. So let's get to the episode.
It's really funny. All the dialogue is so funny in how it interacts with one another and how complete every thought is. It's very weird.
You gotta hand it to the Generation 5 anime. Nobody likes it. It's called Best Wishes. Generation 5 is my favorite generation as far as playing the video games, but the anime, it could have been better. I still watched it when it aired just to see the cute Pokemon. I never made it this far. This is season 2 with N. That was my biggest dream. I wanted to voice act N, and it never happened. So let's get into this stupid episode.
Is N the super sick guy with the hair?
Yeah, he's got green hair.
Boy, sick. Did I not understand why he was way too cool for that group.
Yeah, he's not. I agree. He's got way bigger things to deal with than Ash is little. So we've got Ash N, of course, from Black and White. Iris, who is a dragon type. Gym leader, also the champion, spoilers, of Black 2 and White 2. Silent, which is the first gym leader, along with his... Are they brothers?
I'm pretty sure Silent is also a Metal Gear boss.
Sure. But there's... In Black and White, there's 3 different people who are all Pokemon... What do they call it in English? Did he say Pokemon or food connoisseur or food...
Pokemon connoisseur.
He makes food.
Oh, that would have been a way better translation than what he says, which is just Pokemon connoisseur. And I thought that's the most... I don't even understand how to interpret that job title.
They like their monkeys, the elemental monkeys. Yeah, they're like, serving up with their sous chefs. They're soup specialists. But they've got Pansage, Pansear, Pansoak is what his name should be, but instead it's Panpour.
Oh.
Any case, they're in Burbank City.
Which I thought was just Burbank. I thought they kept saying Burbank.
No, Burbank City Gym was a card in the trading card game, which was great for poison decks because you could poison Pokemon and then deal more damage counters and poison damage. It's also apparently the film capital. So they have probably a Poke Studios, recording studio where you make little movies in Black and White too.
That's what I thought the fire was going to be. I thought it was going to be a movie set.
Oh, almost. Now, the Mecha Tyranitar that you see in Black and White 2, actually, a lot of people are pointing at for the new Future Paradox Tyranitar, Iron Thorns, because there are similarities.
A mecha Pokemon.
Yes, they're from the Future Girls.
Huh.
Oh God, no. Ash smells some smoke. So, of course, they run to it, and there's a fire. Oshawott, go and put it out. But Taylor, who stops Oshawott? Let's see if you wrote it down.
Watchog.
Watchog is correct.
Which I really want to see the word count on this episode for the name Watchog. I think it's about 100 times they say that.
Yeah,
also,
probably.
Found it very funny that Ash, it made me think. I like Pokemon because it's, such a well-developed and traveled alternate world. And I was thinking, if I saw a fire, I want to just run towards it. Like, they just ran towards it. We're across the city. We're solving the problem. We're 12 to 16 years old. We're solving the problem. And then I thought, well, they're basically equipped to deal with the fire.
But just him. Just him and the 2 Frillish in that whole city. There's no other firefighters.
I don't think I saw another person.
Yeah. There's no Officer Ginny, no other water types in this entire city other than the 2 Frillish and Oshawott. I don't understand.
But luckily, he's basically got the equivalent of a fire hose.
Yeah. So they try to stop, but Watchhog, which is the reason we're watching this episode because he is based off of a groundhog, and he has a safety vest looking thing, and he can see through walls and see through underground chambers. He stops Ash and the kids and tries to tell them, "No, it's just a test. It's not a real fire." And then we see the sickest group of Pokemon imaginable. It's a Duat. He looks cool and adorable. And two goofy Frillish, but they all have red scarves, which are sick because they are members of the. I have it written down here in English
Phantom
somewhere.
Thieves.
They're called the Phantom Thieves in English?
No, that's what I thought they were going to be called.
No.
I can't remember.
Clambos, I'm going to tell you the name of this group in a second. You just wait.
There's
I'm
no
not going to
way.
keep searching. I know. It's written here somewhere. It's written there somewhere. All right. Okay, so the Frillish are using Hydro Pump to try to put out the fire, and then Psychic is used by Frillish, right, to save the quote-unquote victims, which are just dolls.
Which I didn't know Psychic was just telekinesis.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Pokemon like emitting psychic waves that caused harm. I didn't know that it had a utility purpose.
Well, anime and game canon may be different with that.
Hmm.
So not necessarily that's what's happening in the games. It could be just psychic damage as well.
Okay.
But yes, it's just a drill. And then Watchhog runs over to the squad members with the red scarves, and he's trying to save them from being hit by a falling piece of roof from the top of the building. Because, of course, he can see such things. He can see structurally it's about to fall. And then Silence, the green-haired sommelier, he explains, yeah, Watchhog can do that. It can see through walls, so that's why that's going on.
Which is very strange that they just have him as a dealing with pedestrians person. I feel like he's so valuable.
Yeah, he is quite the skill set, particular set of skills. Iris is listening in with her little Axew, little dragon type Pokemon that's cute, and he is the pseudo legendary of that generation. N is standing. To describe N's backstory would take hours, but he did something really neat for the Pokemon series, which he was the first character to really introduce the idea of, hey, maybe this isn't sick. Maybe we shouldn't be keeping Pokemon and Pokeballs and quote unquote owning them. Maybe they are just friends. That's what this episode.
I was wondering what that was. Okay. Because I thought, so this is my first time hearing that, right? Everybody always used to joke when we were kids, like, I mean, maybe they shouldn't be in little Pokeballs all day, just waiting to be, have to fight each other. And then people would say, oh, they enjoy it. And then you would have the little fan art where Pikachu has a giant apartment with all of his stuff in his Pokeball and everything to make the kids not feel bad. So I hear this guy, and it was actually kind of funny because I hear this, right? And the last episode I watched was one of the ones we did. I can't remember what the last one I did was. Then it makes you think, and it's like, well, I guess Pokemon can't really say anything. They don't want to be caught. Like, they resist being caught.
It's, not in the later seasons. We discussed this with Geese, but in the later seasons, Ash never even catches a Pokemon until he gets their consent ahead of time and says, do you want to be on my team? And they're like, oh, yeah.
And that's in the game as well?
No, that's the anime. But
okay.
But N's thing is he doesn't. I think all his Pokemon aren't. He doesn't own any Pokemon. He just considers them friends. But he introduced a lot of interesting concepts into the.
How does he fight? Does he?
He's just friends with them. He tells them what to do, and he doesn't tell them. Suggestions.
He suggests it. Oh, Blastoise!
They're working together.
It would be cool if someone used Hydro Pump.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like a real passive aggressive in every fight.
Okay. I finally got the name of these guys in Japanese. I'm guessing this is not their name in English because it just sounds like something that would have been built near where we used to live. In Japanese, it's called the Gulf Coast Relief Corps.
Yeah, that's not
pretty good.
That's not it. It's
Take the Gulf Freeway to the Gulf Coast Relief Corps. Captain Hiroto is in charge. What's his name in Japanese?
Hiroto.
No, it's not. There's no way they named him Captain Hiroto in English.
Oh, you said what's his name in Japanese? Okay. It's something. It's something silly. Something silly. I couldn't tell you. Can't remember his name.
You had a page and a half to write anything you wanted. You didn't write one character's name.
I just kept talking about how many times they say Watchhog.
We're going to call him Hiroto. I'm sorry, Clambos. Duat continues to be very adorable in Japanese. Ash thinks all these Pokemon look so sick in their little scarves.
They do. But
and then
so this is like a city entity, right? With
Yeah, I
port
think they
security or whatever, and their uniform is you wear whatever, just make sure you have this scarf. Is there anything else that functions like that?
probably. What I want to say is these scarves, it's a perfect, you girls are going to remember this one. It's an in and out moment because in Japanese, they're trying to explain the significance of the scarves and how they they symbolize teamwork, much like
Oh
the
gosh.
in and out arrow points to quality.
Points to quality. I will never ever forget that. Oh Jesus.
We get some very Japanese, just they stand there and they talk and they say a lot of things that don't do anything or advance anything, just a lot of waxing poetic and trying to fill up 22 minutes. It's
They did
pretty
their
good.
best. They could have just
They're
made the
fine.
fight with Team Rocket go longer.
Yeah, they
Spoilers.
probably ran out of And okay, now it's everybody's getting a little bit upset here because Watchog's in trouble. Captain Hiroto's upset because he went to go save his friends, and he says you shouldn't have run over to save your friends and push them out of the way because you should have been holding people back from walking into the fire. And I was very upset on behalf of my boy Watchog because he did the right
he
thing.
literally saved lives. Everyone was just
Exactly.
putting out a fire. He saved lives. Shame on you, Watchog.
But Watchog wants to join the rescue squad. He doesn't want to just be the watchout because he can do so much. And then, unfortunately, Geese is not here because this happens every single episode. So I just wrote to say, Geese, who shows up? So Geese, who shows up at this point?
Team Rocket.
It's correct. In Japanese, they say Jolly Boy, like they do every season, every episode, which means brat boy, according to every translation I've ever read.
Jolly Boy.
Juddy boy.
Juddy Boy.
And, Juddy boy. And they're in a what you could only describe as the outfit a flasher would wear. Big trench coat and a hat.
Or a detective.
Sure, a detective.
Yeah.
And their big plan this week is to steal some Pokemon. Oh my god.
Steal Pikachu. They just wanted Pikachu.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
which
just
is
him. He's fine.
Interesting. Kind of refreshing to see him go back from, oh, we were going to steal all of these Pokemon. Now we're just going back to Pikachu. I guess they rotate. You know, 1 week try to get Pikachu, 1 week try to get everybody else.
This is season 2, but initially with Unova, the region they're in, which is based off of the United States, specifically New York and the surrounding areas. All the Pokemon were different. So Pikachu would kind of be a big deal over there. Not to people from Kanto, though, so it doesn't really add up. Anywho, Watchog's now going to train because he wants to join the squad. So he lifts some weights and he uses strength. I actually thought he was using the move bulk up, but no, he used the move strength.
They destroy some very expensive looking walls that I think are made out of steel.
Yeah, he's got his next task after lifting some weights is destroy the metal wall, which Duat, of course, does with his shells. He uses shell slash. Is that what it's called? No, shell blade. Pardon me.
Yeah.
And then Watchog uses cut.
Mm-hmm.
He's a regular HM slave.
Mm-hmm. Made me think of Farfetch'd.
Farfetch'd? You mean Bidoof?
No, Farfetch'd. Huh.
You could learn a bunch of
was
HMs?
in this episode. But I'm always thinking Bidoof, if we're being real. Whole episode.
The next task is, of course, the really only important task for this fire department. You need to put out the fire. Now, the Frillish can do it real easy. The Duat can do it real easy. They're water types. They use Hydro Pump. Watchog, which is a normal type Pokemon, tries to use Sand Attack, and it is not very effective.
Which is weird because that's the best way of putting out fires.
Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
He tries to fan it out with his tail, burns his little tail, hurts himself. Then Duat saves the day, uses his little water attacks on his tail.
Oh, I just realized they were putting out fires around Burbank. Because Burbank's always on fire during fire season.
No, it's not called Burbank in Japanese.
Yeah, but Burbank.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Watchog is sad because he's not a water type specifically.
What was the Hiroto's conversation with Watchog like in Japanese?
He just makes him feel better. He says, that's fine. Not everybody can be a water type and save the day. You have your own skill set. You're still good. And somehow that makes him feel better.
It was the most gentle letdown I have ever heard in my life. They should have that guy do that professionally.
Yeah. And then after the gentle letdown, we get some serious drama. Something we actually don't see because it was, I think, delivered pretty seriously in Japanese. I can't imagine that it was taken this seriously in English, but N gets so upset. He says, you shouldn't put, because he says to Captain Hiroto, he says, you shouldn't put Pokemon in danger at all. And they start arguing back and forth about, well, the Pokemon are making their choice. They want to save people and Pokemon. It's this all the same to them. And N's about to lose it. You're doing, what do you call them? Little things on the screen appear and you think it's going to blow up, but we're interrupted by a phone call. Oh my God. The kindergartners are in trouble. Somebody save the kindergartners. They are at the complex. Is it called the complex in English?
I don't even remember the kindergartners, and I watched this like an hour and a half ago.
Sick. Okay.
I just remember them getting the call and having to run over there, but it was just them. It looked like the training area. I think it was some kind of like factory or something.
Yeah, it's some oil refinery or something. Yeah. But anyway, the Gulf Coast Rescue Squad has to rush over to the oil refinery to save all the kindergartners because it's on fire.
At the chemical plant, when the kindergartners are touring the chemical plant.
The Dow Jones Industrial Complex. So Ash and Iris want to help, and Silent. They all put up their little fists like this, and it's very amusing. They just stand there with their fists saying, I want to help. I believe Captain Hiroto says, no, you can't. Yeah. And then they say, yes, we can.
And that's the end of it.
Yeah, that's the end of it. We cut to the complex. Run, children, escape. And the kids are running and screaming, and they're doing their best to help them out of there. And Pikachu's very adorable with the kids. Team Rocket's great plan is to steal Pikachu during the commotion.
When they exit the building, there's a very funny delivery by James when they're running out, and Ash says, who else is in the building? And I think Jesse says something like a whole bunch of other people. And James just goes, please save them. And it's just the most disinterested delivery I've ever heard. And it made me chuckle.
That's interesting because that was not in Japanese. James was selling it or no selling it. One of those words is what I'm looking for. He was
unable to purchase. Oh, no. Yeah. He wasn't even kind of trying to hide it.
Yeah, there's a fire inside. The rescue squad, Gulf Coast Rescue Squad, puts on these sick firefighting masks so they can breathe through the
smoke. I wrote
the
same thing.
Yes. We see some more adult... What?
So sick.
Sick. We see more adults escaping. Luckily, all the children are safe by this point. And we're inside the complex. Do I use Razor Shell to open that metal door and hydro pump that thing? Is it... Do they say what it is in English?
It looks like a giant power bank or something.
It is a metal thing.
It was weird because that's the only item in the room.
Yeah, the big metal thing is on fire. And then we go to the scene Taylor described where Team Rocket walks past Ash. How does Ash not recognize that is Team Rocket? It is Jesse's enormous hair, James's classic hair, and a talking, walking Meowth. All identical to Team Rocket, except they're in the little worker outfits.
It's popular hairstyles.
So Ash runs to save everybody because they tell him there's still a lot of people that need to be saved. And they immediately just put a little glass jar over Pikachu. A little vessel. What would you call that? What's the word you would use?
It's like a container.
Yeah, a nice
little cage. It's funny because Jesse said, well, that was easy. At the same time, my mind said, well, that was easy.
Luckily, Ash noticed that, though, and turned around and said, what are you doing to Pikachu? And then we get, luckily, a sick Team Rocket intro. Their Unova Generation 5 intro is cool because it incorporates all of the big city living, the skyscrapers of Unova.
Very sick.
Neat. Go Oshawott and go Yamask. Use Will-O-Wisp, Hydro Pump, Woobat, use Air Slash. This is a big battle that's going on here.
Very sick battle, too. I like the animations a lot.
And Pikachu, you would love Sun and Moon because it's way better than this one. Pikachu goes flying up in his little glass case, and Mijumaru, or Oshawott in English, razor shells it. And Pikachu is saved. Oh my goodness, we did it. Woobat tries to attack Pikachu and starts firing off these beams. And oh god, he sets something else on. That's something else on fire. Oh no.
Oshawott's adorable. What a cute Pokemon. Sitting there, so tiny, using Hydro Pump, not moving, just looking around while using Hydro Pump. Adorable.
Yeah, I got a real good screenshot of Oshawott. I love when they zoom out so they don't have to do as much animation on the characters, so it's really simplified design. They look way cuter. So then now there's a giant fire on a new metal thing, but this new metal thing is setting off all the fire doors inside of the complex. So the Gulf Coast Rescue Squad is now trapped inside.
Oh no.
With the fire doors.
Which is funny because the fire doors were completely not functional. And I don't know what the purpose would be.
To protect them from the fire.
Yeah, but why wouldn't it just like
and
seal?
Now you can't leave.
Seal part of it, where the fire is.
No fire escape. And then Pikachu thunderbolts Team Rocket, but they jetpack off. Interestingly, normally they'd blast off again from an attack, but no, they just brought their own little jetpacks and go escape.
Yep. Very, very weird. This seemed like a more realistic Team Rocket. They faked a crime, created a distraction, had normal disguises, normal get-ups. They weren't dressed as maids or something. They were just in coats with glasses and hats, got Pikachu in a container, had a fight, and then ran away when they lost. This was the most normal, plausible Team Rocket interaction I've ever seen.
They're trying a new thing in this new region. Quick, Oshawott, Hydro Pump the new metal thing.
So cute.
Call Hiroto. Is it Ash who calls Hiroto on the little intercom phone speaker?
I just remember Hiroto appearing out of nowhere. But yes, he is talking to Hiroto with the little walkie-talkie.
And he's yelling, "Help, we're trapped in the basement."
Yeah.
And Hiroto says to Ash, "Ash, you gotta leave. There's a fire here. Go save yourselves." And Ash says, "I'm not leaving."
Would have been sick if he said, "I'm just outside."
Yeah, I'm outside. I'm downstairs.
Like, I'm not trapped behind steel doors.
So now we got to figure out how are we going to save all the Gulf Coast Rescue Squad. And everybody comes up with a brilliant idea. I got it. Iris, pull out your Excadrill. We're going to dig underground. It's going to be great. We're going to save them. Everybody's going to win. Geese. Excadrill can't get through the hard clay. Do you know how powerful Excadrill is? Such a strong Pokemon. It can get through the hard dirt. Come on now.
And N. I just kept typing. I kept writing, "Who is N?" Because he just gets so many close-ups.
Who is N? He's a very important character. He's one of my favorite Pokemon characters. You're going to have to play the video games if you want to know about N. You have a
Switch.
Yeah, you have a Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Black and White's not on it. Those remakes will come out, though. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But he has Reshiram if you have Zekrom. He has Zekrom if you have Reshiram. And you go on a Ferris wheel with him and have a conversation.
Huh.
So Excadrill's digging underground. He can't get through.
At his suggestion. I wish they would have leaned into that a little more. I guess they want to do that. But if he was like, "Hey, Excadrill, wouldn't it be great if somebody would drill through the ground to save them?"
Well, it was Iris's Pokemon, but
yeah.
The fire still won't go out outside. The metal doors are still closed. And I'm still asking myself, where's the other firefighters? It's a whole city. You've never had a problem before. You can't call anyone else for assistance.
Gulf Coast Squad is on it.
Nobody has the access codes to the complex to just open the doors for somebody to escape.
It's a very strange episode. It feels like it's a TV show.
Yeah, it's somebody had to do some work for this episode. Just going to work today. We got to write something. All right. So In has the brilliant idea to ask Watchog, because Watchog, I think at this point, is still trying to stop people from walking in. I don't know who these people are who just really want to walk into the fire, but Watchog's stopping them.
Doing the same thing.
And says, and says, "I got a great idea. Come over here. If you want, Pokemon are friends.
Yeah. Tell me what you think about this.
Up to you completely. Let me read your heart real quick. If you want, because I know you can see through walls and dirt, come over here. Tell Excadrill where to dig. If you're into it."
And if Excadrill is into it.
Yeah. And Watchog says, "Oh, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I'd love to help out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go ahead and detect conditions underground. Thanks, N, for the great advice."
Which is so sick.
And then he tells Excadrill where to go, and Excadrill saves the day. And oh god, Oshawott getting tired. He's too tired to do any more water blasting, any more hydro pumping. But
Luckily, he's not too
luckily,
tired to be adorable.
that's darn tootin'. And Excadrill drills through the wall, and Team Rescue Squad Rangers Gulf Coast Dog Track come through, and they all start hydro pumping. All the Frillish, all the Dewott. Oh my god! And even and Clambos, even Watchog uses some sand attack on the fire. I wish I could have a noun other than thing for these metal things that are on fire, but
It's
don't.
the
It's a pump of some sort, maybe a
transistor.
silo. Sand attack. And then N and what's his name? Captain Tsubasa? Captain Hirotz?
Hiroto, yeah.
Sure. So then In and Captain Hiroto make up because they were in the big giant argument before, but they shake hands and they say, okay. In says, I read the hearts, and turns out all your Pokemon really do want to save all Pokemon and humans, and it's true that they both do see them as the same, and they are not slaves to you, so I approve of your relationship with these Pokemon. To which Hiroto says, oh, thanks for your approval.
We have the blessing of N.
He doesn't say it. Well, it's pretty important. He's like Prince of all
Cosmos?
Sure.
Really?
They weren't coerced. We cut to a sunset because it's the end of the episode already. Oh my god.
You gotta love an episode where it ends and you say, when did it start?
Then we get some more dialogue where they just say, and we're gonna be more efficient in the future. Yes. And Ash says, okay, I gotta leave, bye. and the outro, hey, I hand it to the Japanese because this outro, very sick. Taylor probably got a boring outro. My outro is sick. And then after the outro in Japanese, this is so cool. Professor Oak asks a trivia question to the children watching. And he says, all right, kids, if you know the answer to this question, go to your local Pokemon Center, tell the staff, and they'll give you a prize. And that just goes to show how in Japan you can have nice things. That doesn't work in the United States, but in Japan you just get presents and fun stuff because you know the answer. And Clambos, I know the answer to the question.
What's the answer?
The answer is friends. The question is, what does N call Pokemon? So I would have got that prize if I was in Japan in 2012 or whatever.
Would have been sick.
I wasn't, so I didn't get the prize. Way to go.
Okay. That's fine. What an episode.
Flambos, thanks for watching. I'm sorry. It's not a good episode. It's not. It's bad.
It's fine. It's just My Hero Academia minus the
good. The fun.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Scarlet and Violet will be good because Sun and Moon's really good, and I know people enjoy Journeys, so let's hope for the best.
Journeys?
Journeys is Generation 8 anime, and that one's an interesting one because they don't just go to Galar, they actually travel all over all the different regions.
Oh.
So that's interesting.
That's pretty sick. Do they
all right. What?
when is the animation real good?
In Sun and Moon. It's incredible. Okay. If you look at a screenshot of it, you'll think, oh, this animation looks worse. And then you watch it in motion and you'll go, oh, this was a great decision. This makes everything so much more expressive and
they do that in
funny and cool.
Every anime, every shonen type
anime.
Well, they all eventually come around to it because a lot of them start out, especially older anime, would start out just being almost screen by screen comparisons to the manga. So it would be in Bleach. Oh, sorry for the noise. Is that being picked up a lot?
Incredibly, yes. All right, good thing we're almost done.
Yeah.
Okay, yay, we did it. Okay, Geese isn't here in person, but she's here in spirit, and she has questions for Groundhog's Day. First question from Geese. How do you feel about groundhogs? Taylor.
About the animal? The only thing I think of when I hear groundhog is Bill Murray. That's literally the only thing I think of. And I love Bill Murray.
Perfect.
Love Lost in Translation.
Everybody loves... Do everybody loves Bill Murray's I believe so.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Just way to go.
what was the other movie that he did that I really Moonrise Kingdom?
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And then Geese's second question is, if you had to experience, she misspelled it, a Groundhog Day situation, which day in your life would you choose to live over and over again? And Geese, of course, the answer is you should never do that. That's a real bad idea. You'd hate that day immediately. So
Yeah.
don't do it. But what's your answer, Taylor, if that's not the case?
Boy, maybe something with diving, because at least
Ooh.
you're in an interesting situation and there's a lot of freedom within diving. Or maybe like the first time playing a video, like a real big game, but then that's so limited.
Oh, but you're going to remember it, right? Because in
Yeah,
the Groundhog
exactly.
Day scenario, you're going to remember it. So that's not
Yeah,
going to do
you're the
anything.
only one. That's why I didn't say something like a real nice moment with family or something, because there are just very finite things you can do with that. Like as a kid on Christmas, that would be great.
Oh,
But the second
I
time you
actually
experience it would suck.
I actually have an answer. It would be, let me just think back to the tastiest food I've ever eaten and then just continue eating that, because there are situations where you can't recreate how good something tasted. Like, for instance, the Philly cheesesteaks at Katz's, they don't taste as good as they used to.
Oh, yeah, the
Or
originals.
to eat somewhere that's since closed down that you really liked. Like, I'd love, for instance, I would love to eat a delicious burger from Burger Mart, which is closed, but I would
Oh.
just replay that day a couple times. So that
So,
is my actual answer to the question.
but then if you remembered it, you would remember what it tasted like, no?
Yeah, girls, that's why I don't ever eat food, because I already know what it tastes like.
No, I'm saying you were saying recreating the first experience because you can't have that again. So wouldn't you
No, I'm
get
saying
really, really tired of it?
I'm picking a day I don't have access to the food, is what I'm saying.
Mm.
Currently, I can't go to Burger Mart, and currently I can't get that tasty Philly cheesesteak from Katz's. So I'm saying, let me have that day off to the side. I can groundhog it real quick, go back to my normal life, and
Oh.
when I want to eat it, I'll go back
Oh,
real
so
quick.
you're just getting I thought Groundhog Day was a curse. I thought it was you had to experience that day
Not for
over
the
and
rest
over
of
and
your
over again.
life.
Yeah, well,
No,
that's what I
I'll just
thought. I didn't know it was
no.
a back pocket, like, perfect memory situation.
Yeah, it's great. Well, not even
Oh,
no. It's time travel, and I'm just going over there real quick.
you're
Well, no,
I
because then
feel
I'd be spending my whole time placing sports bets. Let's just say I can
yeah,
go
what
eat
you
that
what
food.
you're doing is your infinite
No,
wishes.
listen,
That's what you're doing with the genie
no.
over here.
I'm just eating a little bit of Philly cheese. All right, let's go into the wrap up. Hey, all right, Clambos, it's wrap up time. Hey, all of you, please follow Look Listen Cast on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. God, Geese has this. Erin's house, she has this voice modulator, so now she can say YouTube all sick, and I can't. Thank you to Keith Squared for our artwork. Please follow Keith at twitch.tv/Keith Squared. Thank you to all of our supporters. Shoutouts to Professor Ticklebits for the website and the boilerplate and the ad edit and so on and so forth. Glambos, if you go to looklistencast.com, you can support us monthly via anchor.fm. So please do that and then recommend this podcast to your friends and family. It is family friendly, so grandmas and little nephews and nieces and cousins are allowed. Taylor, please unmute. I want please read the question from DrivingDVan. I've made it bigger so you can
So,
actually read it.
DrivingDVan. 2 questions. Oh, two-parter. Nice. What is a non-video game hobby
Well, that's
you
a hobby that's
currently
not a video
enjoy
game.
or have enjoyed
Oh,
in the past? I mean,
God,
for me,
you got war.
huh?
You're getting warbly. I can't hear you.
Oh,
Okay, what's a video game? Is
no.
that the question?
Question 1. What is a video game?
I was gonna say I like Pokemon cards, but I don't think that counts because that's
You
based
love
on a video
Pokemon cards.
game.
Yeah.
A hobby, huh? What's a fun hobby? Taylor, you go first. I know you like diving. That's not a video game.
Yeah, I mean, I like way too many things. Diving, tennis, water polo.
Tennis.
Yeah.
I like Smash Brothers. Oh, darn it.
That's okay.
No,
That's fine.
it's a fun hobby. It's something you go out and do. Eating's not really a
Regularly.
hobby. Let's go. Oh, it's so boring. I like traveling. Favorite hobby.
Yeah. Traveling
Okay.
sick.
What is a hobby that you have always been interested in but haven't tried yet? I've never been bungee jumping. So I want to try that.
It was great. So I've never been skydiving, but I've been bungee
I've
jumping.
done that.
Bungee jumping is terrifying. I could see you being really into hiking. I'm surprised you don't do it.
I like hiking. But
I'm surprised.
I love walking. Let's pick walking. I love to walk. I love walking for hours. That's my answer to the first question. But for the second question, what's something sick that people do and have fun with?
For me, hang gliding. I've always wanted to go hang gliding, but there's a reason I haven't.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, I'll tell you
can't
exactly.
steal hang gliding. That's mine.
No, it's not hang gliding. I'll tell you exactly what I've always wanted to do, but have never done, and that is go hiking. No. Specifically, I want to go and explore places that I've never been, such as the Redwoods or Yellowstone or Yosemite or all these national parks. I've never been to any of those. I've been to Grand
national
Canyon,
park hopping.
Yes, I want to explore national parks, which I've never done.
That's the hobby.
That is my answer. But I really wish that. So there's so many countries I would never want to visit just because there's not going to be reliable, clean toilets there. So it's just not in the cards. I'm sorry.
Thailand was very hit or miss with all the places I went.
What would you do if you had to go to the bathroom?
Just go. But I don't have an issue. So, whenever I go to the bathroom in a public toilet, I always really clean it. Like I get soap and water and I'm scrubbing down everything. And then it's just nice and comfortable for me.
Technically, the hardest place to use the restroom is Los Angeles because where's the public restroom?
Same in New York.
You tell me.
Yeah.
Big cities.
Oh, do you have a public restroom? You got to get through me first is generally the approach that they have.
And for those of you that don't live in big cities, the reason for this is because if there were public restrooms, homeless people would just live in them and nobody else could ever use them. But
we used to have people who would sneak in past new hosts at the restaurant bar, and they would shower in the urinal.
Right.
Or not urinal, the stall.
Yes. So that's why that happens. But so when you're exploring these countries, there are restrooms you can use, or are you just going into the woods, or how's that work?
Recently in Turkey, I was in some very, very interesting restrooms. One of them, we were in a really crowded area late at night. So in Turkey, I remember having to go across the street, and somebody...
And now there's a barking dog. What is going on?
Midday is treacherous territory.
But what I'm confused by is I have that happen to me all the time, and I keep asking, "Can you hear this? Can you hear this?" And Geese always says, "No, I don't hear any of it." Even when you got and there's 3 elephants outside moving everything out of a room, banging. I never picks up on mine. I don't know.
Yeah, that's very because I have gain all the way down. Anyway, so back to Turkey.
Yeah, just say it fast. We're gonna wrap it.
So I had to go across the street, up 3 flights of stairs, which was real rough with my knee, and go to a bathroom that didn't have a light. So I was holding my phone trying to go to the bathroom in this abandoned building. It was so freaking scary. That happened in Los Angeles as well, in East LA. I was going to get a chili relleno burrito, which was fantastic. But they had me go to a church and use the bathroom there. Same thing. No light. Bunch of guys standing outside staring at me. Really sketchy stuff. But Thailand, you could always find a bathroom. Normally, I just go with purpose to either a hotel, restaurant, something, and nobody really cares unless it's empty.
Oh, yeah. You can have a great time in a hotel bathroom. I used to a hospital... Not anymore, but hospital bathrooms used to be sick. Now they'll stop you.
Oh, extra sick.
Well. Oh, that's a good point. Mm-hmm. All right, Clambos, thank you for listening. I hope you've learned something about toilets today and how to use the restroom in foreign countries. Thank you for listening. I don't know what the next episode will be because we're recording a lot to get through the holidays, and maybe Scarlet and Violet anime will be out by then. Who's to say? Thank you very much for listening. Maybe Geese will be back next week. I don't know. Goodbye.
Farewell.
And goodbye.
How Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese. Thank you for listening to the Geese Productions podcast.
Geese Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Enterprises is a Dow 30 company.